Gentleman from Florida, Dr. Dunn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Americans do indeed have every form of technology at their fingertips for broadband deployment and related applications, including fiber optic, fixed wireless, mobile, and robust satellite systems. All are important to Florida. Thank you for those comments, Mr. Hale. Historically, America has done a stellar job at building out telecommunications infrastructure, and much of this was done before commercial entities received any government grants to provide that service. Now we've thrown $42 billion in broadband in taxpayer money, and we say we need to solve this problem. We haven't laid an inch of fiber yet. Not one single additional customer has been served. So, in fact, I drive around in my district with a purely commercial satellite link in my car because reliable cell service is absent in half of my district. And I know there's plenty of healthy competition in our market to fix that. Mr. Spillmeyer's testimony on evolving technology in the market was encouraging. Your members are providing fiber pipes to data centers, cell towers to offer all kinds of service bundles, and broadband prices have fallen from 87 cents per megabyte per second in 2015 to a mere 16 cents for comparable service last year. Yet millions of Americans still lack any reliable access to broadband at a reliable speed, a useful speed, I should say. We spent $65 billion in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the IIJA, to support broadband activities. We have nothing to show for it. We have a poster that shows how much money was put into a number of these different programs. Now, these aren't all of the programs. These are just some of the bigger ones. In fact, there are over 130 programs. Somebody made reference to that earlier. And, you know, when we have that much money sluicing around in the system, you wonder if there's a bit of a boondoggle gold rush going on here. Most concerning is that the Biden administration allocated infrastructure, IIJA money, the largest appropriation date without any accounting for other broadband programs already existing. And this is, I think it illustrates in some ways how complex the broadband ecosystem actually is between the big ISPs, the rural co-ops, cable companies, et cetera. Hard to serve areas still don't get the broadband on a priority basis. Now, the truth of the matter is that connecting underserved areas can be difficult and not economically viable. So, you know, that's as true in Florida, in my rural district, as it is in Latin America, Asia, Africa, et cetera. Satellite broadband is affordable. It can be deployed today. It can be, offered at a much lower price than trying to drag a fiber to every single farm in my district. And these are, remote areas. Another advantage is resilience. Satellites are not vulnerable to having a wayward Chinese ship drag an anchor across their fiber in the bottom of the ocean. Ms. Morris, I understand the NTIA finally amended the implementation of the requirements to allow alternate technology to fiber for locations that are difficult to reach by fiber. I guess that's better late than never. I'm supportive of the chairman's bill, which I co-sponsored to reform the BEAD program, allowing full access for alternative technologies. It is, in a word, technology agnostic, and I'm okay with that. I think that's the way we should be. Mr. Hale's comments, I think, underscored that. The all technology eligible section in the Speed for BEAD bill allows an eligible entity to deploy reliable broadband service through any technology that meets the performance criteria. Now, the question, Ms. Morris, is how did the Biden NTIA and the Department of Commerce plan to ensure that areas that needed broadband, but obviously satellite was the obvious answer. You can't drag a fiber everywhere. How in the last administration were you planning to address those people?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last part of the question.
Well, I saw your BEAD program by regulation, by edict, did not include anything other than fiber in the last administration. And there's places in the world, think Pacific Island nations. It just makes sense.
Sure, Congressman, thank you for the question. The NTIA, within the BEAD program, did contemplate a wide variety of types of networks to be participants in the program. And as you note, the alternative technology guidance that came out in early January of this year further clarified the ways in which satellite companies in particular, along with other alternative technologies, could participate and were expected to participate in the program. We see, NTIA has historically seen that the primary goal is to push fiber as far as possible and economically feasible, but certainly to support other technologies that make sense in the areas where they make sense.
So my time has expired. I would say we ought to be just technology agnostic. Tomorrow, some bright person is going to invent something we haven't thought of today. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.